Man, I love Gims, and his voice is so unique, so pulverizing. Ooh, I like that. A big vibe. Yeah, I like that bass that come in too. She has like a real Missy Elliott kind of vibe to her, and in terms of what the visuals look like, which I love, that Afro feel. Yeah, it's a big vibe. I'm gonna have to add this to the playlist like that. You know what I'm saying? To me, an artist is a holistic idea. So it's not just the melody, it's not just the lyric, it's not just the video. I'm looking at the entire picture, you know, and who that artist is. I feel like any artist that's gonna stand the test of time is gonna have, you know, everything all encompassing. Because individuality is number one. Like when a little girl is sitting in her room and deciding who she wants to be tomorrow, I think she's looking at the whole picture, right? She's looking at who that artist is, and if she wants to implement that entire artist's kind of vibe, you know, to their life, or are they gonna relate to that person? Not necessarily just a lyric or necessarily just a melody. It's everything. I still think there's value in creating a whole a visual picture, because when you think of a song, you know, a lot of times that video pops in your mind, you know, and sometimes a video can even make a song bigger, you know what I'm saying? So you can have a song that's doing decent and then drop that video, and the video is crazy, and for some reason it just clicks in people's minds, you know? So I personally still think that music videos are of utmost importance. Like they shot this where I grew up. Big vibe. So yeah, this reminds me of my childhood. I love this because this just feels like, you know, somewhere that you've been before. It's not super dressed up. It's not super produced. It feels very bare bones and like where I'm from. The term R&B is so different now. I mean, you can put so many different genres within to R&B these days. I feel like that with a lot of different genres though. I think everybody's kind of mixing together. Like when I first started, coming to France was a lot different than it is now, you know? And I think with Spotify and how people are consuming music, it's just allowed us to blur the lines even more, where, you know, we're listening to all kinds of music from all over the world. It doesn't necessarily matter what language it's in even. You know, people are just looking for that right vibe, whatever that vibe is, whatever is matching, you know, their particular personality or their music taste. They're gravitating to it. It literally doesn't matter what language they're speaking. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because when I was coming up, it was not like that. And I think the music has taken a total shift. But to me, I think it makes the world smaller in the best way. It doesn't affect me quite as much because I've always been on the prowl for like new, cool sounding shit. It just doesn't matter where it's from. The more different that it sounds, the more I'm intrigued. I'm like, yo, what's that? Because I'm always trying to find something that doesn't sound like nobody else's shit. So that's always my goal, right? To create something that feels new, that feels fresh, and not to necessarily fit into any box or any genre. And it always keeps it fresh. It always keeps it really fun for me. Like, you know, the song that I have out right now that's called Sexy For Me. It's one of those joints that, you know, it piques your interest, because it's like, damn, like this sounds interesting. Like I never heard nothing like this. And if you did, it probably was from me. To me, yeah, I don't know. It just keeps it fresh. It keeps it fun. And every single time I'm creating, it feels new again. I like the 90s vibes, the 90s vibes of the music video. Yeah, this is a straight trap. So I think this is straight hip hop. I don't think it's trying to be anything else. It's a vibe. You know, it still feels new school, but it has an old school feel to it. The new school portion, I guess, is the melodic factor to it. But I like this a lot too. I feel like back in the day, you would have a song and you'd be like, oh, this person would be perfect for this, you know, in terms of a rapper, right? But like now, the rappers sound like the singers. So it's like who do you put on the song to make it sound different? Everybody's singing now, you know, and
Is it a good thing or bad?
I don't think that's a good thing. I really don't think it's a good thing. I think music is better when there's variation, especially like when a singer is looking for some sort of feature. I think to me, I think it's more dope to have somebody come in the bridge that's actually gonna rap, and not necessarily do a melodic thing, because it kind of just keeps the song going. As opposed to if there was a rapper, you know, I feel like it's a clear difference. It's like, oh, okay, this the bridge section. Oh, this my part right here, you know. But the world turns how the world turns, man, and the people are always gonna choose what they like, you know. So it's not necessarily the artist's fault necessarily, because the people gravitate to whatever they gravitate to.
Moi je veux une Parisienne, Parisienne qui traverse au feu vert, qui s'en fout de la tour Eiffel. Une Parisienne, Parisienne qui traverse au feu vert, qui s'en fout de la tour Eiffel. C'est la what I know at the touch.
Man, I love Gims. I always say identity is everything, and when somebody comes on and you know exactly who it is instantly, there's so much value in that. And his voice is so unique, so pulverizing. So you know, you always know it's him, and you always know it's gonna be a vibe when Gims comes on. I've known of Gims for a very long time, since I've been. I mean, not since the beginning, obviously. I'd said I've known about Gims for like at least like 10 years or something like that. I don't think it's hard for me at this point. You know, I think once you reach to a certain point of songwriting, it feels exactly the same in the creative process. And as I change as a man, as I change how I speak, as I change how I dress, as I change all of these things, the music naturally does the same. You know, I feel like that's why this next era is really important for me, because, you know, it's like anything else. Shit changes, man. Like, I don't want to go to the same restaurants that I was going to. I don't want to go to the same clubs. I don't want to be around the same people. And, you know, as you grow up, as your life shifts, man, I think it's important that the music does the same thing.
On se connaît à peine, elle veut fermer les volets. Dès le premier date, elle fait déjà la folie. Elle veut pas s'attacher, elle sait que je vais déconner. Comme dans ma côte, tout ce que tu veux, je vais payer.
Yeah, what genre is this? Is this a rapper or is this a singer? You could tell that he actually has some really good vocals, you know? I really like the vibes. I mean, again, this is authentically him. There's no real production needed. I think what he was trying to accomplish is accomplishable with just him and the regular camera that he had. Every video doesn't have to be like this extravagant crazy thing, especially when you got something to say. So I think that's really good for any new artist to come out and just be showing who they are authentically. And as time progresses, you know, you can have the bigger videos, the bigger budgets, but for now, I think this is a great kind of, you know, introductory style video. I think I'm having more fun shooting videos now than I ever have on this particular project, because all the dots are connecting. I don't know if it's because I'm in a super creative space. That's why I'm excited for people to see this new music. I'm excited for people to see the tour, because it is what I believe in my heart to be some of the best work that I've ever done, and it just will stand out so much and you know, beside everybody else. I have some of the best dancers on the planet Earth, some of the best musicians in the world, and it's really exciting, because I know when people see it, they're gonna be like, oh shit, like I didn't even know.
Ton visage s'efface peu à peu, mais nos souvenirs me happent encore. Lorsque je smoke la beuh, je m'endors. T'oublier ça, je n'y arrive à peu.
Cool. I like this. This is a cinematic approach. Yeah, he had a real director. You know, somebody that put a lot of time and energy into the whole concept. I like this a lot. I think his vocals sound very nice, a smooth vocal, very easy listen. Yeah, I'd definitely like to hear some more. What's his name? Monsieur Nov. I'm okay with music evolving and changing. I'm not gonna be one of those the old school cats that's like, back in my day, music was music. At the end of the day, people choose what they choose. You know, there's always gonna be people that's singing R&B music. There's always gonna be people that's singing soul music. It's what do the people gravitate to, you know? Because those people that are singing R&B would be massive if the people chose it. Because there's always gonna be people carrying the torch, so to speak. It's just the audience has to decide this is what I want to listen to. But I'm not intentionally trying to like save R&B or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I actually intentionally wanted to go a different route. You know, being from where I'm from, I wanted to do something else. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to influence the planet. I didn't want to stay in the box that I was in. You know, I wanted to find my own space. And I think that's been my goal throughout this whole journey, is to find my pocket, whatever that pocket was.